stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air. Hi, I'm Jerry Bryant, and these are the lovely ladies of motorsports. And all this hour, we're going to have 60 minutes of action-packed excitement. All kinds of exciting things will happen. And we got the famous Bill Wildt, and we got all kinds of other good stuff that's happening all this hour. Motorsports Unlimited, 60 minutes of non-stop action. So let's go to the studio right now, huh?
Excuse me, if I may interrupt for just a moment. Hi, I'm Janine Lauschat, and this is the 1098th edition of Motorsports Unlimited. We have a very special announcement today. This year, 2008, Broadway Bob's going to be 80. They're planning a big birthday bash for him at the Grove, September 27th and 28th. We wanted to help spread the word, so we thought we'd reach back into our archives and show you something we did with him 16 years ago. Along the way, we'll remind you about the birthday bash. Paul Schultz, you're on.
Do you remember some 6 weeks ago, we visited Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin, and two of our lovely ladies actually learned how to compete at a drag strip? Do you remember our own Allison DeMore ended up the big winner? We still haven't heard the end of it. We told you, most of drag racing is for everybody, and anybody can do it in any kind of car. But we also told you, Great Lakes Dragaway owner and promoter Broadway Bob pulls out all the stops several times a year. He brings in drag racing's biggest stars for spectacular weekends. This kind of drag racing isn't something that anybody can do. Matter of fact, Bill warned our girls when we went back Memorial Day weekend, they were going to see some things they didn't know existed. Right, girls?
Right, Paul. He warned us, and he was right.
Here's an example.
Unbelievable, but it was only the beginning.
Yes, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves. What Bill wanted us to see was the jet cars.
Unfortunately, we didn't know that actually meant cars with jet plane engines.
We thought maybe it just meant cars that were fast like jets or something.
In any event, let's get started on our adventure into the world of big-time space-age drag racing.
What do you think, Pam Thomas? Could you be any colder?
I can't believe you have us out here.
No, don't say that. The audience already is sympathetic to you guys. First of all, we have here, your name is?
Tom Brown.
And where are you from, Tom?
Elkhart, Indiana.
We have a jet funny car here, and the first question I've got to ask you is why a funny car instead of a dragster?
Well, I prefer the funny car. I believe the people can relate to funny cars better than dragsters, such as Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so on. And I just love to drive them and go fast.
Okay, let me point out to the audience that the guys that elect to do this in funny cars are really taking a risk for a number of reasons, not the least of which is this is where he sits, and that's where the turbine is right next to him, and the turbine spins at how many RPM?
Well, approximately 15,000.
And that doesn't concern you at all, a turbine wheel spinning? You know, they do lose fan blades now and then.
Well, occasionally, but no, I'm real confident in my equipment.
Okay, how long have you been doing this?
About 20 years.
Really? Now, what's the best pass you've ever done with this car?
This car is run 640s at about 265 miles an hour.
Okay, what about handling problems? Again, we're dealing with a funny car instead of a rail, so you perhaps don't have the design freedom that you might like.
Well, basically, they handle okay. Sometimes in the crosswind or in a wind, they're a little strange, but they do okay. I don't have much problems.
Okay, and how are you going to do here today?
Well, hopefully I'm going to win. I'm going to try.
Okay, now don't go away. I want to ask the girls a couple questions. What they think of this is they've never seen anything like this before, and I'm sure you can appreciate this is unusual.
Yeah, that's right. I sure do appreciate it.
Okay, don't run away now. Okay. Kim Carlson, what do you think of this? Do you have any idea what you're looking at?
No, but I like the colors.
Okay, you like the color? I want to show you something. Step right on out here. What do you suppose that is?
It looks like a big fan.
Okay, Kim Donahue, come on over here, please. Don't run away. Kim, what are we looking at here?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Okay, step back over there. Pam Thomas, come on up here. What do you suppose this is?
Looks like a light bulb.
A light bulb? Tom, I'm telling you, the girls don't have any idea what they're looking at there. Let me try two more. Allison, do you have an idea? Come on up here.
My legs are frozen.
Your legs are frozen?
What?
What do you think we're looking at here?
That's a bird holder, so he can keep his pet bird with him.
Go ahead and step back. Christine, tell all these girls, tell them what they're looking at.
You mean what type of a car this is?
Yes, the engine?
It's a jet.
There. This is a jet engine. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
This is a jet engine. Tell these girls what this engine is from.
Well,
It's not a Ford, a Chevy, or a Plymouth.
no, it's a Westinghouse, and it's out of a Korean War vintage airplane. And
Do we know what plane?
they use them in a lot of different plane combinations
Okay.
and stuff like that. So, it's from Korean War.
Okay, but we're talking a jet engine, girls. This is a jet plane engine. You really didn't know?
I didn't know, but I should have figured.
Okay, I want you guys to tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
I must admit, it still didn't mean much to us. The car was beautiful, but we still hadn't seen or heard one run. And besides, it was so cold and windy we could hardly get through the interview. Now let's return to the Great Lakes Dragaway pits and continue to try to understand why Bill was so excited about these jet cars.
Well, we've got our old friends here from Chicago Rush, and I should probably get up and talk to the drivers and the owners and all that, but you all know Bill Wildt, and you know that I'm going to talk to the pretty girl first. Honey, who are you?
Candy.
Say it again.
Candy.
And where are you from, Candy?
Justice.
What's your last name?
Bracken.
Now, do you drive the car?
No.
Do you want to drive the car?
No.
Do you enjoy coming out to the races?
Yeah.
Okay, now you know I got to talk to some of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll be back, don't worry. Okay, first of all, let me get down to this end, and I don't want to block this absolutely exquisite car. We have had Chicago Rush on the program before, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know how fast you guys are going to go today, but you guys know how to paint them.
Hi, Bill. Yes, it was painted in Crestwood, Illinois.
Who did it? It's beautiful.
Denny at DCC, Denny's Creative Customs.
Okay, first of all, introduce yourself once again to our audience.
Okay, I'm Dan Sullivan.
And your role with the car?
I own the Bills.
You own the Bills, so that's why I'm talking to you first.
Yes.
We interviewed you guys a couple of years ago. How have you been doing since then?
I dismissed it. How do we do this since then?
How have you been doing since
I've
we
been
interviewed
traveling
you?
all over the country, everywhere from Phoenix to Miami to New England.
How fast has the car gone?
552, 285.
Wow, you're tapping on the 300-mile-an-hour mark.
We're trying to get close to the Texas guys.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you just to back up 1 foot here so I can move right on down, and will you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Hi, my name's Chuck Shear. I'm the driver of the car.
Okay, you drive the car. He just told us you guys are running in the fives at 285 miles an hour?
Yes, sir.
So you're tapping on the door of that 300 mile an hour?
Oh, it's right there.
Now, the question is, as I understand it, the jet cars have a speed limit of 300 miles an hour. What are you going to do?
It's 295, the speed limit.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah,
295
right.
now. So you guys are getting awful close.
Well, next year we hope they move the speed limit up so we can run better.
Will you explain to our audience what this speed limit business is?
Well, they just don't want us to go too fast. They're getting too dangerous to stop.
So it's the problem is with shutdown area for the
Correct.
speed involved?
Correct.
Okay, because you know, just Kenny Bernstein just made a 300 mile an hour pass with a top fuel rail. And I've been wondering what they're going to be, if they're going to start putting speed limits on top fuel rails.
Well, they just have them on the jets right now, but they're going to lift it, we hope.
You think it's going to be universal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I'm wondering what the solution to the problem is. I kind of like the idea, even though I understand yes, wait a minute, Christine, when a girl's got a question, we can't, yes.
What's the possibility of some track down line making the tracks longer, the shutdown area longer, so that won't be a limit of 300?
Well, the problem is cost, of course. You'd have to literally rebuild the facilities. Plus the fact you start talking about insurance and the rest of it, this gets very difficult. 300 miles an hour is a scare word. Have I got it about right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not afraid of it.
No, sir.
No, but so the insurance companies are afraid of it, the operators are afraid of it, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but if you're going 295, 5 more miles.
It's a threshold they're real uncomfortable with, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so please.
Well, we have to go by the rules, and they could pull our license for 6 months if we go over the speed limit.
Okay, so you really have to pay as fast as you guys are going. You have to start paying attention now.
Yes.
Okay, Kim Carlson, what are you thinking there?
I think it's beautiful. It's really
You had a comment when you first got in. You couldn't believe that's a steering wheel.
I know, it's like totally weird.
Would you like to do almost 300 miles an hour and steer it with that?
No.
No, I don't think so. Let me work my way down to the other side here. We don't want to leave anybody out on Motorsports Unlimited, that's for sure, especially when we're talking about a car called Chicago Rush. You guys are a local effort?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and you are?
Tom Olive, crew chief.
I don't know if the audience got that. Try it again.
Okay, I'm Tom Olive. I'm the crew chief on the car.
Okay, so you're the guy that bolts the pieces together.
Yeah.
Do you have, I don't know if the audience can get this. Do you have an engineering background at all, or did you just pick this up on your own?
No, just pick it up. We've been racing other cars, pro stock, and the alcohol funny car in past years. And Dan and Chuck been in jets for quite a few years, and we just decided to get into jets again.
How do you like working on the jets?
Oh, it's light.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like the high-tech stuff. It's nice.
My question is, what would make goofy men put jet engines in cars? I mean...
Wait, I want to tell the audience something here. Allison, and I don't know, Chris, you have, but the rest of the girls have never seen a jet car run. They're in for a treat, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, and if they're cold today, we'll warm them up.
Yes, exactly. These guys are going to toast you, and once you see these things run, you'll know why we do it.
I still think you're all goofy.
Well, that is probably true. Yes, Christine?
Ask him what he does for a living, though.
Okay, I'm sorry. What do you do for a living?
I repair lawnmowers.
You have got the world champion grass cutter here. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And you are?
Don Bracken.
Where are you from, Don?
Justice.
Why do you come out with the team? You want to drive or get involved with something like this one day? Or you get dragged in kicking and screaming?
I get dragged in kicking and screaming.
So you have no interest in racing or race cars or anything like that?
A little.
Because I'll tell you something, I always find it very encouraging when we have youngsters coming out to the races. We need the next generation coming in, and I think it's great when you start learning so young. There's a lot of stuff to learn. Now, honey, don't go away because I'll be back to you. You are?
Brian Duke.
I don't know again if the audience got that. I think they're running the nitro cars up there. Give it to us again.
Brian Duke.
And where are you from?
Justice.
Why are you, presumably you're involved with this effort?
Yeah, I put the fuel in it.
Why are you involved with this? Why do you do this?
For fun.
You have any interest in driving?
Oh, yeah.
You'd like to get in and pull the trigger?
I'm begging.
Begging, I know the feeling. I know exactly the feeling. Well, listen, I want to thank all you guys for spending a little bit of time with us. Yes, Christine?
I would just like to say also, I think the last time we did the car, I don't think they had the paint on the car totally completed, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
It really is exceptional. If our camera doesn't absolutely love this, then I don't know a thing about television. Now, if I can get the younger, can you step around here, honey? Please, come on over here. We always put the pretty girls to work on Motorsports Unlimited. Am I right, Kim Donahue? Right. Okay, I want you to step right out here, just like this, and look at the camera and say, don't go away, folks, we'll be right back.
Don't go away, folks, we'll be right back.
Again, keep in mind we don't quite know what we're looking at yet. The cars are pretty, but they don't seem as menacing as Bill would have us believe. Now, before we go any further, let's meet the girls on today's show.
Hi, I'm Chris Schatz.
I'm Pam Thomas. I'm Kim Carlson.
I'm Kim Donahue.
And I'm Ellison Demore.
Thank you, girls. Now, Bill sensed that we weren't getting the full impact of how special the jet cars were, so when he heard that they were going to run one up, he wanted us to see it.
Remember, this show is to make you aware of Broadway Bob's 80th birthday bash coming up September 27th and 28th, 2008. Hi, I'm May Chin, and as I understand, there is a reason Bill picked a jet car show.
I'm going to show you something you're not going to believe. We'll be right with you, Freddie. Don't go away. Come down here now. You are not going to believe this. Walk right over here. Do you see what this is?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
That's a big cement pole.
And what has it got tied to it?
A big chain.
A big chain is tied to it. What do you suppose that is?
I don't know. Is the car going to pull it or try to pull it? I don't know.
Just watch. Come on back down here. Okay. Okay, now, please step back in line. First of all, would you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, my name is Freddie Sibley Jr.
And where are you from, Freddie?
Bradenton, Florida.
From Florida, the Hooters sponsorship, no doubt.
Correct.
If I understand it, the Hooters started in Florida.
Started in St. Petersburg, actually Clearwater.
Okay, because there is a Hooters in Chicago now.
Correct. There's 74 stores across the country now.
Oh, okay, so it's really getting to be a big chain. I know they do Alan Kawicki on Winston Cup circuit.
Yeah, they have Alan Kawicki, and then they have us as the jet race car for drag racing. They have Bobby Humphrey for Formula One boats, and they even have a bathtub racer.
Okay, tell me, how fast do you go with this car?
We're over here tuning up. We're looking around about 275 today.
Okay, so you're not too worried about the 300 or 295 mile an hour speed limit?
I don't ever worry about anything. I do it the way I like it.
Just pull the trigger and go?
That's it.
Okay, why are we over here? I just showed the girl what it actually amounts to a dyno. Our audience doesn't know that yet. We've got a dyno, which in the cases of jets means a post in the ground and a chain tied to it.
Right, what you do is you put a strain gauge in the chain and it tells you how many pounds of pull you're making. And we're just over here. It's real cold out here today, so we just want to put some heat in it.
Okay, so you're going to do a full power run?
Yeah, we're going to shake the earth here.
You're going to hit the afterburner?
Yeah, we're going to be on full power. We want to see what it's going to do. We're getting ready to race, and we came here to race.
Okay, well, I certainly understand that. As a matter of fact, I should mention that years and years ago, the story about the Arfons brothers in Ohio was they burned down the swamp behind their house. They used to chain their jet cars to the oak trees. Were you familiar with that story?
Oh, yeah, well, I worked for Craig Arfons, the son of Walt, for 10 years. And I kind of grew up around the Arfons family, and I'm second generation on jets myself. My dad's been in jets since 1963.
Wow, and I was going to say we had another fellow here on the south side of Chicago, Lee Austin, did a lot of the jet car. He used to start them up right on the south side of Chicago and blow the afterburner at the railroad tracks.
Oh, yeah, when Lee started, I would just...
you knew Lee?
Yeah, I know Lee Austin real well. He's a real fine person.
Gifted metal worker.
He's talented. You don't find talent like Lee has.
True, the word gift really is applicable to Lee Austin.
Yeah, but Lee, he's kind of hanging out on a sailboat down there on the coast of Florida now. That's where I live, and it's definitely warmer in Florida than it is here.
Well, it's not always this cold. It wasn't this cold 2 days ago. Trust me, it was 87 degrees for the last shoot. Now, don't run away. I want to ask the girls down there if they're going to be in the way where they're standing. Girls, what do you think down here?
This really does have a jet. I'm looking in here. This is what they have on jets.
I'm telling you, these are jet cars.
They're going to kill themselves.
No, they're not. Trust me, Allison, you have never seen... Remember the last time we were out doing the drag race show at the Grove with Day of the Grove where we had you and Kim Carlson racing each other, and you were what?
I was the winner.
You were the winner, and I told you that most drag racing is for everybody, that you can bring the family car out, and I said, well, when we come up here Memorial Day, we're going to show you some drag racing that is not for everybody.
We were laughing. We just told them they better not start this up. We're here going to see Kim Carlson and I shooting down the field.
Okay, now wait just a minute. You guys are ready to do your test, right?
Yeah, we're ready to do it. If you don't mind, we'd like to get on with running our engine.
Absolutely. Let us close this thing out. Girls, tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
We still didn't know what we were in for, but Bill had us stand back about 50 feet while they fired Hooters up.
As you can see, this fire-breathing monster is awesome, and even our camera couldn't take it when they applied full power.
Unbelievable! Only Chris knew what to expect, and even she was impressed.
Kim, I told you were going to see something that you never saw. What do you think?
I almost cried! Oh my God!
Chris, I know you've seen it before. Pam Thomas, what do you think?
Unbelievable. It was an experience I've never felt before. I mean, I was scared. It was really scary, and you have to be here to really know what it's like. And you have
I've said that so often with motorsport. We can't bring you the ground shaking and the earth booming. All we can do is show you a little taste of this stuff.
It's like an earthquake or something.
It is awesome. Kim Carlson, what do you think?
Totally amazing.
Now, you were sitting in the Chicago Rush Racer. Would you like to sit in there and do that?
I don't know.
Allison, you're shaking your head. What do you think?
The whole ground shook. I mean, you got to hold on to body parts that shouldn't be moving that fast.
But you don't think we're goofy anymore, do you?
Now I really think you're nuts.
Yes,
Now I know what you mean by thunder and lightning. Oh my.
that's what motorsports is thunder and lightning, you bet. Tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Now that we've heard one run and we have a better idea of what we're looking at, let's take a peek at the world-famous X15.
The jet car racers never had a better friend than Broadway Bob. That's why Bill picked a jet car show to tell you about Broadway Bob's 80th birthday party, September 27th and 28th, 2008.
This is without a doubt one of the most frustrating days I've ever spent at Great Lakes Dragaway. Everywhere we look, we have the most exquisite, outstanding cars to be imagined. We can only give you a taste of this, so we're picking on the jets because I'm so fascinated with the jets. And we've got an old friend of Motorsports Unlimited here, and you are?
Chuck Van Dyke.
And Chuck, I'd love to talk to you, but we always talk to the pretty girls on Motorsports Unlimited, so I'd much rather talk to your wife. And you are?
I'm Carol Van Dyke, his wife.
Okay, Carol, tell us about the car.
This is the X15 Jet Dragster. It's the only jet dragster in the country running a Rolls-Royce jet engine.
Does it have an afterburner?
Yes, it does.
Can you explain to our girls, they just watched the Hooters do a run-up, can you explain to our girls what an afterburner is?
It's like all the fuel's being dumped into the tailpipe of the jet, and then when he hits the afterburner button, he just takes off and...
Right, she's got it exactly right. It's like throwing a bucket of raw fuel in the exhaust. Do we have it right?
Right, that's right.
Okay, speed of the car, ET potential, what are we dealing with?
Well, here today with the windy conditions, we'll be lucky to hit between 270 to 290. But this car on an Air Force base has went 350 miles an hour and 470 on an Air Force base, and had a hard time getting a stop. But you can't run that on any drag strip in the country because they have a short shutoff area on all the drag strips, and you'd never get stopped, so you have to run slower.
Pam Thomas, did you hear that? This car has run under certain kinds of conditions, not violating the 295 mile an hour speed limit, but an Air Force has run 350 miles an hour. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
After seeing the Hooters run up, you can believe it?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you do something like this? Please help us explain, help us understand.
Well, I've been racing all my life since I was 16. I love racing, and I'm doing something I like to do, plus I'm enjoying myself making money at it, traveling around doing, racing.
Okay, and I've got to ask your wife the important question. We in motorsports know, and it doesn't make any difference if you're doing oval track cars or road racing cars or airplanes or boats, that if you don't have a supportive partner in your life, it can be miserable. You look like you're supportive. Help us understand.
Very supportive. I help Chuck with anything he needs, anything from packing the parachutes to fueling the car to handing him the wrenches.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, well that's great because it makes all the difference in the world. Yes, Christine?
Where would someone get jet fuel?
Well, jet fuel, believe it or not, is very easy. You go down and get some kerosene at the corner. That's not exactly what they use, and he's going to explain it, but that would work. Help us, jet fuel.
Yes, jet fuel is similar to kerosene, except it's got a few more chemical additives, plus it's a little bit cleaner, but kerosene is right close to it. They're almost the same. You can run kerosene in them, but I can't run no dirty fuel in here like diesel fuel or anything because it would mess up the fuel control. Rolls-Royce told me to run only clean fuel in here because if it messes up the fuel control, it's going to cost me $35,000 for a new one.
Okay, how are you guys going to do a runoff today, or is this strictly exhibition?
Strictly exhibition. We're going to be running against each other down the track, but it's exhibition.
Okay, well there's nothing like, I told the girls when we were bringing them here today, because we've only got one of the girls with us, Christine at the end, that was with us the last time we were out here. None of these other girls has ever seen anything like this, and I said, you're going to see something today that you are not going to believe. And they just watched the Hooters run up, and am I right? You couldn't believe it?
It really is amazing. And when he's saying, well, we'll be lucky if we can get it to 270, 290, I'm thinking, lucky.
These things will give you a ride. Can I put your wife to work for one moment?
Sure.
Okay, just lean right over here. No, that's good right there. I want you to look at the camera and say...
And don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
After we finished the interview, they called the jets to the staging area, so it was time to see the cars we've been looking at in action, starting with Tom Brown's Jet Funny car.
Unbelievable. We kept saying it all day. Now let's watch Chicago Rush. And by the way, notice that Great Lakes Dragaway's Broadway Bob has hitched a ride to the starting line.
Broadway Bob loves the jet cars, and at one time he had the only track in the country that would let them race.
You have to be there to really experience it. But let's watch and try to enjoy it on television. Here's Hooters in action.
Now, with a new appreciation for the awesome jet cars, let's return to the Great Lakes Dragaway pits and meet more of the jet racers.
At one time, the NHRA banned jet cars. The Grove was an NHRA track. So what did Broadway Bob do? He threw out the NHRA.
Well, all of the jet guys that we've talked to so far says that the Texas cars are probably the fastest cars here. Is there any truth to that?
We seem to think so.
First of all, introduce yourself to our audience, please.
My name's Marvin Seltzer, and I drive the Lone Star Lightning.
And where are you from?
We're from Dallas, Texas.
Well, that explains it then. They say that you guys build a lot of these cars.
We build quite a few, about 4 a year.
4 cars a year, really?
Yes, yes we do.
Okay, tell us about what we've got here.
This car here is built in 1989. This is like the second car that we built. It's like a real high-tech race car compared to the ones of the past. It has a Pratt Whitney JT12 engine in it. Has been clocked at over 300 miles an hour.
But you're not allowed to do more than 295, if I understand it correctly.
No, I just paid a $1,500 ticket last year.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we had a question from a girl. Hold on, don't run away. Yes.
One question too. Is that 295 just apply to the state of Illinois, or is it that way everywhere throughout the country?
Did you get her question?
That's nationwide. That's through NHRA.
Nationwide. Now we've got a question back here. Kim Carlson, repeat your question about the speed.
When I was sitting in the car, I noticed there was no speedometer, and I was wondering how they knew whether they were going to go faster than the limit than what they're set at.
Okay, she's looked inside the cars and says there's no speedometer. How can you guys keep yourself to 295 if you don't have a speedometer?
Well, I've made about 700 passes in a jet car. I know pretty much where I am.
So it's a matter of pure experience then?
That's right.
Okay, is this a big problem for you? Would you rather have them just let you guys go, or do you think it's necessary to have the speed limit?
No, I think it's necessary at this time.
Okay, how many jet cars are there around the nation?
It's about 60 total.
That many?
Yes.
Well, I guess it is necessary then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now don't run away, because I got a final question for you. I want to talk to your friend back here first, so please don't run away. Now, on the other side here, if I can awkwardly step over this car. First of all, you are?
I'm Danny Wright.
Danny, where are you from?
Dallas, Texas.
Okay, we've been talking to all these jet car guys here, and they say the Texas cars are probably the fastest cars here. Are you going to quarrel with that?
No.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm standing close to these cars, and all of them are beautiful, but I must say these 2 cars really stand out. Did you do any of the work on it?
Thank you. Yes, we have a shop in Dallas where we build and maintain both of these cars.
Okay, well, I know our audience can't see this very well, but everything is beautifully engineered and done. The way the joints are welded together, the way the accessory pieces are put in place, it looks like General Motors manufactured. It's really nicely done. You guys should be very proud of it. In fact, I'm sure you are.
Thank you. We are very proud of these cars.
Okay, last question. Where do you want, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this jet car racing for 3 years now.
Where do you want to go with it? What's your ultimate ambition?
Well, we're kind of there almost. We're the best in the business as there is, the 2 cars. We of course like to make more money, and we like to go faster.
Okay, but you're not allowed to go faster.
Not at this point, no.
But you want to be ready when they lift the rules?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for spending some time with us. I want to ask the same question to the other fellow over there. And again, I will awkwardly step over this absolutely exquisite creation. Okay, the final question I had that I asked him is, you guys are pretty much at the top of the heap now. Where do you want to go with this? Do you have any mountains left to climb?
We would like to go to competition.
Do what now?
We would like to go into competition with the jets.
Well, it would seem to me you already are in competition, or is this strictly exhibition?
This is exhibition, and it's competition between ourselves, but there's no prize monies on this. It's strictly exhibition.
So what you would like to do is see like an NHRA establish a class for jets?
That's what we're working for.
So you're trying to get that, you're working to try to implement that?
They've got my vote.
Okay, well I agree, because I think this is what drag racing ought to be about. It ought to encourage the high-tech creations, and it ought to encourage people to experiment, at least in my opinion, and I think this is sort of a final statement.
I think so.
Okay, well listen, thanks for spending a little time with us. I know you've got to make a pass again. Please don't run away. Girls, tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Let's watch Marvin Seltzer and Lone Star Lightning in action in the near lane.
Now, let's enjoy Danny Wright and Texas Thunder in action in the near lane.
Wow, we didn't even care who won. The Jets put on an incredible show, win or lose. Now, let's return to the pits and meet one of Chicago's own.
All right, now, who just said it? Who just said this is a monster? Kimmy?
It's a monster!
Well, now, you've just seen the first jet car runs that you've ever seen. What'd you think?
It's hard to explain, Bill, but it was great. It was awesome.
I think that was the unanimous decision. Allison?
It's just so awesome. You feel it through your whole body. It's unbelievable.
Pam?
It's hard to explain. You have to be here in order to experience it, know what we're talking about.
But I'm not lying when I say it's thunder and lightning.
No way.
I wasn't expecting it as powerful as you said.
Really? Okay, so I didn't overstate it. And Chris, of course, you know all about it. Kim Carlson, this is all brand new to you. What'd you think?
I think that you really have to experience it to know. I mean,
Yeah, I understand. He's got autograph. As soon as we get done with the interview, son, please don't run away. I'm sure he'd be glad to sign it. You get a lot of autograph seekers, right?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, and you are?
Bill Lutz.
Okay. Now that we're sure the audience is going to get it, please say it again.
Bill Lutz.
Bill, where are you from?
Chicago, Illinois.
Really, you're a local guy?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about your car. What have you got here?
This is a J85 jet engine out of an older Learjet, and we've built the afterburner for it.
Okay, now we've just explained earlier to the girls that the afterburner is like throwing a bucket of fuel in the exhaust. Would you want to explain it differently?
No, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're just forcing air through it with the fuel and igniting it.
Okay, it's really, I'm kind of oversimplifying it because it is a little bit of a tough deal. And if I could, perhaps you could walk down to the other end of the car and show our audience what we're dealing with here. When we talk about the afterburner, this is the tail. I'm going to let him explain it. Please go ahead.
This is the afterburner from here to here.
Okay, this section here is the afterburner.
Right. That's the whole afterburner.
Okay, and forward of that, what do we have?
We have the engine from here to here.
Okay, when we're talking about the engine, we're talking about a series of turbine blades. Wait a minute. We're tangled. Go ahead.
All the compressor blades are here, and all the turbine blades are here.
Okay, the compressor, so our audience understands that the way a jet engine runs, it inhales air, compresses it into the burners. Have I got it right?
That's right. It starts on fire right here, and it goes past the turbine wheels right there.
And the turbine wheels drive the compressor?
Yes.
And the rest of it is used for thrust out the back?
Yes.
And then you, when you build a afterburner, you augment what's coming out the back by throwing in a bunch more fuel in the hot exhaust, and it's a little like throwing a dynamite up a rabbit's tail end, right?
That's right.
Okay, and it really makes a difference. Yeah, that is coarse for me, isn't it?
I know, but that was almost bad. I was just thinking, I felt bad. I said that bird looked like a bird cage. That poor bird wouldn't want to be in there.
No, that's for sure. That's one heck of a vacuum cleaner there. How long have you been doing this, Bill?
I've been doing this for a year and a half.
What provoked you to get into jets?
I was running an alcohol dragster for about 5 years, and just couldn't afford it anymore, so we put one of these together.
Have you found it to be less expensive?
Not less expensive, less maintenance.
Less maintenance, because the jets do run a long time.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, well listen, it's a fabulous piece. I'm glad to see somebody. Now I'm going to guess, you must be associated with Wayne New?
Wayne Knuth?
Yeah.
Yes, I've known him for years.
I would expect so, because everybody in Chicago that deals with jets, and Wayne is of course the builder of the famous Odyssey cars.
Right.
Okay, well listen, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. We appreciate it very much. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the day. Girls, tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
I'll bet all of the jet car guys will be at Broadway Bob's 80th birthday celebration, September 27 and 28, 2008.
Now, let's watch Bill Lutz in action in the near lane.
You have to see these cars in person to feel the ground rock and the air shake you. Now, let's meet perhaps the most famous of all the jet car drivers.
Well, here at Great Lakes Dragaway today in Union Grove, Wisconsin, we really have a national level star. Roger, welcome once again to Motorsports Unlimited. You are, of course, Roger Gustin. Do I have it right?
That's right.
And that's an even easy name for even me to pronounce. I don't even get that one wrong. And for our audience that might not think they're familiar with Roger Gustin, you've all seen him. You're the lava machine, although we can't say that now because it's TLC. It's something different, right?
That's fine. We still use lava soap. We just changed sponsors, and we just recently signed with TLC, which is a new oil additive. We've signed a long-term contract with them, and we just finished making a new television commercial for them.
For the TLC.
Right.
So because you must be getting tired of already being reminded of the lava machine, no?
Well, I don't know. It was one of the best things that ever happened in my whole career. Probably a lot of visibility that has helped us along the way, I think, to attract other major sponsors.
Right, and of course Roger is known everywhere as the guy that really knows how to attract sponsors, as well as being very, very fast. So before we get too far away from the subject we're here to talk about, tell us about your car.
This is a 1992 Beretta. The body is made from Kevlar and carbon fiber. Right now it's the fastest car on the circuit. We've run over 280 miles an hour with it. And this is we're going after our 13th Olympics of drag racing title here. We sure hope to win it. We won the first round. We're out here for blood.
Okay, let me ask you, yes.
When you have that much power behind you and you're holding onto that wheel, I mean, do you have to really hold on? Or
I think so. The car makes about 6,000 pounds of horsepower or thrust.
Amazing.
Once you light the afterburner, you've got over 4 Gs pressing you back into that seat. But that's the last thing on your mind, especially on a windy day like this. Drive the car, win the race, and do it safely.
Okay, question. We know that the jet cars are limited to 295 mile an hour speed limit. Now, you run a funny car. Does the funny cars have a little easier time staying within that 295, or do you guys run as fast as the rails?
No, I think that we can run with most of the rails, but some of the really named cars could beat us with the rails because they're so much lighter and aerodynamic. We've been very successful with the jet funny cars for a number of years after we left the jet dragsters. Matter of fact, I won 38 of 40 races last year, and just hope we can keep that kind of pace up and win every one of them this year.
Well, of course, you are noted as one of the best in the country. There's no question about that, but I'm curious about this 295 speed limit. It would seem to me that's going to be hard to judge. We just talked to a fellow that had to pay a $1,500 fine for exceeding the limit, and what I'm asking is, because of the greater frontal area of the funny cars, do you guys have a little easier time staying under that 295?
Well, we're certainly not trying to stay under it. We want to go 300 miles an hour. And that's going to come in time. The limits are being lifted and raised each year more, and I think it will be totally forgotten about in the near future. But we're not there yet. I mean, we're over 285 miles an hour, but I think it's just a matter of time till we do hit the 300 mile an hour mark, and that's what we really want to do.
Okay, so you don't have a problem with it at this moment?
Not at this moment. It's not a real issue with us right now.
Okay, Allison's got another question.
One more question. If they can only go 295 and they're already there and exceeding it, doesn't that kind of take the fun out of racing these kind of cars? That if you're there, you have no other ways to develop your car now at that point. It seems to me like once you're there, it can't be much fun for them anymore.
I would agree, but Roger?
Yeah, well, I think the speeds and ETs that we run, that's all like second priority. Winning the race is the most important thing to us. And yeah, I hate to see any limits put on any type of race cars.
Boy, do we agree.
Yeah, I think it stops the innovative process.
It stops us doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that's advancing the limits of technology.
That's right, and I think that in time to come that these limits will be scrapped and we'll go out there and run as fast as we possibly can. We've never built a faster race car that we haven't built a safer race car. And as you well know, many of the pieces, the safety equipment on your personal car came from racing. Safety belts did not come from street cars or Detroit. They certainly came from racing.
Of course, one could hardly name a single part of any car that hasn't been improved or made better or lighter or more efficient by the work of the folks that participate in motorsports. Would you agree?
That's true. I mean, we developed a lot of things through racing and a tremendous amount of safety pieces on these cars. My car has a dual brake system on it. We've had this on here for years, long before Detroit had it.
It really is, and that's really what our community is about, is making those things a reality and doing it in a viscerally stimulating environment rather than a laboratory. Would you agree?
That's true, and one thing for sure, the most important piece in our cars are the safety belts as far as I'm concerned. They're also the most important piece of equipment in our viewers' cars. Make sure they wear those safety belts.
Yeah, you bet, because there's a lot of things to have fun with, but nothing is any fun if you get hurt. Agreed?
That's true. I've been hurt real bad in these race cars, and nobody wants to go through that.
No, you really don't. Well, Roger, I know you got to get out there again. I thank you again for spending a little bit of time with us. By the way, this is the first time 4 of these 5 girls have ever seen jet cars run, and they cannot believe it.
You've made my whole day.
Enjoy, girls. Enjoy.
You agree?
I hate loud noises, but just seeing it takes your breath away.
And you really have to experience it in person to appreciate it. Would you agree, Pam?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way to describe it.
No.
Okay, you 3, tell the camera, please.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Now, let's watch Roger Gustin in action in the near lane.
I can't say enough about the jets. I still can't believe what we saw. But there were all kinds of exquisite race cars at the Grove on this day, and we wanted you to meet some of the other folks.
Christine, this is really frustrating for me today. Have you ever seen a collection of so many gorgeous, beautiful, and fast cars?
No, I haven't.
This is really something here today.
It really is.
It's frustrating, and all we can do is take just a little taste of the thing, and it makes me crazy. First of all, I don't even talk to the driver first. I don't know who everybody is. Who are you?
My name is Willie Poole from Chicago, Illinois.
You're the driver of the car, or these guys let you wear the uniform for the audience to come up and sign autographs?
Also let me drive the car.
They let you drive the car, too. What have you turned with it?
882 today.
Okay, and what kind of a class is this?
This is a Super Comp class, heads up, 890 class.
Okay, that's there's an awful lot of cars like this today. Maybe you can give our audience a little idea of what that means. What is a Super Comp, you say? What is that?
Super Comp. Most of the cars in this class has no doors on them. All made of Dragsters type cars.
Well, now, are you one of those guys that says real race cars don't have doors?
I used to be. But that's true now. No doors.
Okay, I want to find out who everybody is. First of all, you are?
Ralph Boyd.
Say it one more time.
Boyd.
Okay, Ralph, and where are you from?
I'm Chicago, Illinois.
And what do you have to do with the car?
I'm the mechanic.
You're one of the guys that builds it?
Right.
Okay, don't go away, because I've got a question for you. I want to get everybody included here. You are?
Tony Jackson.
Tony, where are you from?
Chicago, Illinois.
What's your involvement with the car, Tony?
Crew chief.
You're the crew chief?
Right.
Okay, here's my question, guys. This is a great class of racing. No question about it. where do you want to go from here? It would be my presumption, anybody that would build a dragster and run Super Comp, that eventually you want to take on Bernstein and Prudhomme and those guys in Top Fuel. Or do I have it wrong? Help me.
No, not exactly. Well, that's a little too fast for us.
Well, but I'm talking about 10 years down the line.
I don't think I want to try it then either.
Because this isn't exactly chopped liver.
No, you're right about that.
Tell us about what have you got in here? What kind of an engine and all that?
It's a 468 Chevrolet motor.
Big block.
Big block Chevrolet.
Okay, and do you have any plans for additional modifications?
No, because you can't speed the car any faster than where it's at now, you know, so.
Okay, explain that to our audience. Our audience should know about that. This car runs what would essentially be an ET bracket. Explain what that means.
No faster than 890s.
So you cannot run faster than 890, and it encourages people to drive consistently?
Correct, consistently and reaction times.
And reaction times. Now, where do you want to go with this? If you guys are telling me you're not interested in Top Fuel and all that, what do you want to accomplish?
Without a sponsor, we would like to accomplish the #1 position in this class.
And how realistic is that this year?
We got outlook of being #1.
Really, you have a shot at it?
We do.
Well, boy, congratulations. Same question to you. What are we going to try to do here? What are we trying to accomplish?
Be #1 in this class.
Okay, and you don't have any interest in, I would presume guys that are working with dragsters, because I personally like dragsters, would want to eventually end up in Top Fuel. Not so?
Not so. We wanted to stay in #1 class with this and this ET bracket.
Okay, guys, it is an absolute, yes, Allison?
What is Top Fuel? I've heard that mentioned a few times, and I really don't know what that means.
Top Fuel is the ultimate drag racing class as far as piston engines are concerned. Now, you've just seen the jets today, and we've been focusing on the jets, but as far as piston engine cars, it has the most lenient rules. It makes the most horsepower. They run the fastest times. You've heard of Don Garlits, Big Daddy Don Garlits. That's Top Fuel. Kenny Bernstein's Top Fuel.
Okay, I thought it was a brand of fuel or something.
No. It's a division. Top Fuel. Final statement. Well, guys, did you? Pardon me?
It's a gasoline motor.
Yeah. Well, they're nitro burning motors, but you're right. They're internal combustion engine. Gasoline. But this one is gasoline.
Gasoline burning.
Okay. Don't run away. We want to talk to you, son. First of all, can you tell us your name?
Ricky.
Where are you from, Ricky?
Cudahy.
Where?
Cudahy.
What do you think of this car?
Nice.
It's beautiful, isn't it? These guys really did a nice job. And I want to ask you guys a question. Did you guys build it or buy it?
Spitzer race car built it for me personally.
Boy, it is an absolutely beautiful piece. And you guys do all the work on it yourselves then? Engine work, trans work, everything?
Correct, everything.
Boy, it's a beautiful piece, guys. I congratulate you. Kimmy, you're handy here. Why don't you look at the camera?
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. Next, we spotted a whole flock of Super Comp cars and wanted you to see them.
Everyone in the Midwest who drag raced owes Broadway Bob a great deal. He kept the doors open when no one else could. And September 27th and 28th, 2008, he celebrates his 80th birthday. We hope everyone shows up to help him celebrate. You know Broadway Bob loves a big party.
Have you ever seen so many gorgeous weapons?
Each one is beautiful in its own way. I love the top tip of this one. That's neat.
Yes, plus he's got the fully enclosed cockpit. I like the innovative, creative thinking. If I could ask you to step back just a second. First of all, your name is?
It's Alan Ayers.
And where are you from?
I'm from Roselle, Illinois.
Better say that one time. We got the nitro cars up there. I don't know if the audience heard.
It's from Roselle, Illinois.
Tell us about your car. Did you build it, first of all?
No, I didn't. Spitzer Race Cars built it.
Okay, we've heard that name before. Apparently they build a lot of these.
Yeah, they do. They're real well known.
Okay, tell us about it. What have we got?
It's a 496-inch Keith Black motor. The body style was done after Garlits. That's why you see the front nose as it is, and also the canopy.
Yeah, it has the Garlits look, yes. Right. Is that an idea that you think is of value, or are you just trying to duplicate the look?
I like to duplicate the look.
Okay, well, that's certainly very honest. What did you turn with it? I should tell our audience that they've already had the first round, and these guys still have their driver's suits on, so you must have won.
Right, we did. So we're in the second round.
Well, congratulations. What did you turn?
The last pass was an 893.
And what speed?
At 162.
Okay, well, thanks for spending a little time with us. Please don't run away. I want to talk to everybody here. Now, as I said, this is terribly frustrating for a person like myself that absolutely loves these vehicles. to walk past any of them and not do them. It's insulting and frustrating for me. First of all, you are.
Tim Miller,
And where are you from, Tim?
Elk Grove Village.
Tell us a little about your car. What have we got here?
It's a 92 Spitzer chassis drive.
Once again, a Spitzer again. Now, I've heard that name several times. He must be big time into these cars.
Yeah, he is. He's building a lot of them around this area.
Okay, go ahead. Don't let me stop you. Engine like that?
It's a 460 Chevy motor. Basically, it's aluminum rods, aluminum heads. It's basically just a super comp car.
Okay, what'd you turn with it?
I just ran an 893.
Okay, and again, once again, you're still wearing your driver's pants, so I assume you're still in. You must have won.
Yeah, I'm going to next round now.
Okay, please don't run away. We want to talk to the rest of these guys. Yes, these cars are absolutely exceptional, and I've got a little bit of a surprise for the audience here at the end when we get done, so don't go away. You're going to enjoy this. And first of all, this guy is trying to pull a number on us. It's not really his car, but he's going to tell us about it. So first of all, tell us your name.
My name's Kurt Chittister.
And where are you from, Kurt?
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Okay, and who owns this car?
This is Bob McMurray's car.
Okay, and Bob McMurray doesn't happen to be here right now, so you're going to fill in and do the honors.
I'm going to fill in for Bob. He's out watching the races.
Okay, tell us about it. What kind of car is this?
This is an S&D built rear-engine dragster. It's a 454 Chevy, 2-speed power glide in it.
Do you know what it runs?
Car will run a consistent 890.
And again, it must have won today or it would have been put away already.
That's right. Bob won first round.
Okay, and you must have won too. You still have your driver's suit on.
Sure do.
Okay, well, great. Please don't run away. I want to talk to the other car. By the way, how come that one looks so much different and yet it's the same class?
It's just because the car is able to run the same ET in mile an hour that these cars run.
Okay, I'm going to talk to him and find out more about it. Thanks for spending some time with us. Now, this class appears to really foster innovation. Everywhere we look, there's different kinds of trick ideas. Some of them are dragsters, and in this case, we've got a car that's obviously a Corvette. And as a matter of fact, we've had this car in Motorsports Unlimited before, and I'll explain that in a second. You are?
Vince Hilgard.
Where are you from?
Elmwood Park.
Okay, you might remember that we had this car on our show before, and where was that, at AEI?
That was at AEI Automotive in Melrose Park.
That's right. Remember, Kimmy?
I remember it now.
And you guys apparently are still standing. The car isn't put away, so you must have won.
Yes, we did. Actually, we got a buy run the last race, so we got kind of lucky.
Well, you take money where you can get them, right?
Right.
Okay.
Sure
tell us about the car.
The body's an 89 Corvette. It's powered by a 510 cubic inch big block Chevrolet.
You better say it's built by AEI or they're going to kill you.
Yes, it is. It's built by AEI Automotive, the racing engine division, and we run on our dynos and we have no problems with it.
Okay, it's a great car. Now, I told the audience I had a little surprise here. The fact of the matter is we just picked out one corner here because this is so frustrating not being able to put all... Please believe me, if we pan the camera around, everywhere we look, there are incredible cars here today, and I wish we could do all of them. It would be enough for 100 shows. But just this class, Super Comp, just this class, if we can get these fellas to come on in over here. Pam Thomas, how many cars do you think this organization has? This is an organization. How many cars do you think they have here today?
One.
First of all, face the camera, please. And you are?
Rich Kwazaborski.
And where are you from, Rich?
Chicago, Illinois.
And?
Billy Barkus.
From?
Oak Lawn, Illinois.
Okay, first tell us about the organization.
Okay, the Midwest Super Comp Series is a series of Super Comp racers from this area and the Quad Cities area, basically, that started 5 years ago as an alternative to running the NHRA circuit, or to complement it. And it was just a what's the proper word for it? A grassroots type organization.
Right, if I understand it correctly, you guys wanted something that was more area oriented rather than nationally oriented, but with that same big time kind of an operation. How many cars do you have here today?
We have 36 cars here.
36 cars. Can you believe that?
Oh, I could believe it. I thought you were just talking about the Corvette. How many Corvettes? Oh, okay.
Everywhere we look around here, 36 cars. You're the president of the organization?
Billy is the president.
You're the president?
Right.
Okay, what do you guys, ultimately, what would you like to do with the organization?
Well, it's running just great, just the way it is, but we just like to see it get a little bigger, and it is. Every year it grows a little bit, the payouts get a little better, the sponsors are getting more involved, and as long as it just continues this way, we'll be real happy with this.
Okay, technically, real quick, because we're running out of time, real quick, what is a Super Comp car, technically?
A Super Comp car is a drag racing car that goes from a head start. There's no, the lights all come on at the same time.
Right, in other words, no handicap, you both leave together, go ahead.
Right, and you have to run 8.90 seconds.
8.90 seconds, and that leaves the builder free to build anything he thinks that can do that.
As long as it fits the NHRA safety rules, you can run anything you want, from door slammers, dragsters, halters, no motorcycles, but as long as it follows all the NHRA safety rules, it's up to you.
Okay, well, it's a great thing, and obviously it's working well. If you have 36 cars here today, boy, I got to congratulate you guys. We've got to run. Pam Thomas, tell the camera.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Don't forget, Broadway Bob's 80th birthday party, September 27 and 28, 2008.
Reluctantly, we've got to close the show.
We still can't believe what we saw.
Paul Schultz, can you wrap things up?
I sure can, ladies, by acknowledging the fine work of our award-winning production team, including Chuck Itzenthaler, Diane Itzenthaler, John Papke, Tom McGrady, Ed Zawislak, and John Platania. Special thanks to JBTV's Jerry Bryant. Music for Motorsports Unlimited is created by Fireside Recording Studio in Westchester, Illinois, and by independent artists Roger Pauly and Jerry Herbert. Of course, we have to thank the stars of this edition of Motorsports Unlimited, including Kim Donahue, Pam Thomas, Kim Carlson, Allison Damore, Chris Schutz, and our host, Bill Wildt. Me, I'm Paul Schultz, reminding you that everybody can drag race, but only a tiny few can put on a show like you've seen today. If you ever get a chance to see the really spectacular stuff, run. Don't miss it. We'll see you again next week.
Let's see if we can squeeze in the acknowledgments of those who helped digitize and update this classic episode of Motorsports Unlimited. Art Lauschadt, Mei Chin, our webmaster Frank Barbalace, Samantha Bentley, and me, I'm Janine Lauschadt. This program made possible in part by support from Bridgestone Firestone and your local Bridgestone Firestone tire retailers.
This program made possible in part by support from Copy That, located in the County Farm Plaza at County Farm Road and Army Trail Road in Carroll Stream, Illinois. This program made possible in part by support from PB Food Products, located on 47th Street at Western Avenue in Chicago, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from J.C. Whitney & Company, located just off I-80 at the Utica exit in LaSalle, Illinois.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wildt, president of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from Jimmy's Red Hots, located on Grant Avenue and Pulaski Road in Chicago.
This program made possible in part by support from the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade, held on Western Avenue in Chicago, the first Sunday in December.
This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located on Ashland Avenue at 138th Street in Blue Island, Illinois.
Motorsports Unlimited was created to raise public consciousness, understanding, and appreciation of the motorsport community and their activities. You can contact us by email at msutv.com, or you can write to Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois, 60666. We enjoy hearing from our audience. Please let us know what you think.
Next week on Motorsports Unlimited, we're not quite sure what we're going to show you. I'm on a motorcycle road trip right now, and hopefully, if all goes well, you'll be seeing a little bit of Eastern Kentucky. On the other hand, if the timing doesn't work out well, it'll be something else. Tune in next week on Motorsports Unlimited and see how it all turns out.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wildt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye, and keep on rocking.